So one of the things that I'm asked most often, actually probably the question that I'm asked most often in particularly new prospective client meetings is, will I have enough? And that's a great question. And it's one that unfortunately I usually have one question so probably the question that I ask most back is, what are you solving for? Right? Because for most people, enough, well, number one, it means different things to different people. But number two, there are really like lots of areas where we could either have enough or not. And of course, most of the time, the first thought is money. But I want to share a concept with you called the four freedoms that I learned from a coach of mine, a guy by the name of Dan Sullivan. And he talks about, and I believe these are kind of the four freedoms, if you will, that kind of encapsulate the signature life. First is freedom of time. So when I look at people, even in my book, The Retirement Remix, a big part of the freedom that I think most people want is freedom to do with their time what they want to. For some people, that's working. And so how long they work is important to them. It makes a big difference. Being part of that is important. But what they really want is not necessarily to quit, but have more freedom of their time. The second is the freedom of money. We want to have enough money. And again, when most people ask me the question, will I have enough? That's what they're asking about. But that can only be quantified to some extent with some more information that surrounds some of these other things. The third freedom is freedom of relationship, the freedom and the ability to do what you want with the people you want, right? We're not meant to be alone. One of the neatest things for me about my work is the team that I get to work with and you, the people that I get to work with, because I want to be able to have an impact. I want to be able to feel like my life and my work matters, but I also know that I can't do that with everybody. And so I want to really be able to be in close relationship with a relatively small group of people. And that's incredibly important to me. I believe it's really important to most people. Again, everybody's circle is a little bit bigger or smaller, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, and maybe depending on your line of work. But relationship is important. At the end of the day, our life is about relationships. You know, when I look at the people that I know who have reached the end of life, they're not thinking about stuff. They're thinking about people. And so again, relationship and solving for maximizing the ability to spend time in those relationships is super important. And then the fourth freedom is the freedom of purpose. I mentioned for me the importance of feeling like I make an impact. That was one of the things when I went into teaching that I really liked the idea of. Thankfully for me, that's expanded an awful lot and doesn't involve 12-year-olds all the time. But I think that everybody has a purpose, whether it's being involved in a civic organization, or again, for a lot of people, their purpose may lie in some of those relationships. It's important to understand that, again, we're not meant to go through life alone, but we also are designed for. We have, and again, I don't know what yours is. I'm still, frankly, at 47 years old, I'm still figuring out what mine is. We're all driven by a purpose. When you look at, and again, going back to my book, The Retirement Remix, a lot of people, when they retire, work was their purpose, or they found a lot of their purpose through work. And so a big part of successful transition into any other phase of life, whether that's, again, you know, Trish and I have dealt with our kids, most of them moving out and kind of that beginning of and getting into the empty nest kind of part. That purpose of, you know, raising kids now isn't there anymore. For folks who are selling a business, again, a lot of that. And so in retirement, finding your purpose. So when we talk about the signature life, again, a lot of it comes back to money, and money's incredibly important. But these other four freedoms are paramount in defining really what the money helps you do. So as we go into the summertime, you're going to have a little extra time, hopefully in a hammock or somewhere warm, or maybe you're escaping the heat, going to the mountains, cooling off. Whatever your place is, when you're spending time there, my encouragement to you this summer is spend some time thinking about those four freedoms. And when you ask the question, whether it's of yourself or of our team, will I have enough? Also ask yourself the question, what am I solving for? And use those four freedoms maybe as kind of a thought exercise as to how to think about what am I solving for and will I have enough for what? Hope that you have an awesome June. Looking forward to a little bit of vacation myself. Our team will be around. If we can be a resource for you, for your friends, family, colleagues, coworkers, please don't keep us a secret. Again, our purpose is to have impact. So if we can be of help to you or anybody you care about, please don't hesitate to let us know. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon.